I want to talk about getting the most out of your workout. All right, now that you're a little bit older, again, you want to be efficient with your time and energy. All right, your priorities are such where you want to really build muscle, lose body fat, but you have a life too, right? You can't spend 2 hours in the gym 6 days a week, carry around prepared meals. Maybe you did that before. Maybe you never did this because that's what you thought it required to have the body that you want. All right, I want to help you with the most efficient use of your willpower, focus, energy, and time. So here's what you need to understand and what many men aren't doing to get the most out of their workouts, even when, what they're doing. They're consistent. They found a workout they feel somewhat comfortable with. They follow through. They're getting results. Right? Here's how to get more results when you want to, not just be better than most men your age. Again, here I am. I'll be 61 years old next month, or at the end of this month. All right, and this is what it takes to get the most out of your workout. Where I've helped out so many men just like you. This is where they stop short even when they're following through the diet. Okay, number one, it's knowing the purpose of weight training. What it's for, what it really doesn't help with, right? Weight training is about to tax the muscle, overload the muscle, push it safely, push it to a level it's never gone before. That's how you will create the demand to build muscle. You want to build muscle at this age, right? You got to push it past the point where it's not gone before, right? Create that demand to build muscle. Overload, progressive overload, right? That's the most important thing. Now, there are things that may get in the way if you add extra volume, finisher sets, a lot of warm-up sets, right? You do a lot of reps just to feel a pump or a burn or those type of things, right? Those are different feelings. I mean, you can work out to be athletic. If that's what your goals are, that's great. But the primary purpose of weight training is to build muscle. And you got to overload the muscle. You got to tax the muscle, right? It's a sprint. It's intensity. It's not like a middle distance race. And a lot of guys, you're getting results. You're showing up. You're checking off the boxes, getting done. This is how you take it to the next level. Remember that, right? I don't care if you move from set to set to set quickly. Right, do a lot of sets, right? Take no rest in between. Do your sets faster, right? Thinking that more faster is better. No, all right? We're trying to build muscle, certainly hold on to what we have. That's the purpose of weight training, right? A lot of reps isn't going to get you lean. It's not going to help you get you lean. A lot of guys talk about weight training, and that's a great fat loss. Well, over time, if you build more muscle, you have more muscle, it can speed up your metabolism. It's such a long process. The weight training itself, day to day, it's not to burn body fat, right? You do that basically through your diet, right? But you want to build that muscle. Certainly at this age, you want to maintain, fight for the muscle that you've had, that you want. It's going to go away. It's going to be a fight, right? We want to get in that battle. So remember, that's the number one priority. Again, some men lift weights to burn body fat. Some men lift weights, I guess, to be athletic. Some men lift weights for a lot of reasons, but we want to do it for overload. That in mind is something that we lose track on, because if we're just lifting the weight, we're going to take a different approach. Two, that overload I talked about, it's at the end of every set. And we do this all safely. That's what's important to remember too. As I talk about overload and you challenge yourself to 1 more rep or 5 more pounds, it's always safely. We don't want to even take too much of a chance on getting injured. It's not worth it, right? We can do this safely. So everybody has a different idea of what that means. Really challenge yourself, but you want to always stay safe. That should go without saying. I don't care how much I get fired up, I talk with intensity, you always want to stay safe. But you got to challenge yourself. You got to test yourself. At the end of every set, you got to go 6, 7, 8, or 8, 9, 10, all right? Or up to 15, whatever. You got to, every set when you put it down, you got to challenge yourself. You can't just, 8 reps, 10 reps, I'm going 10, always 10 reps times 5. That's not bad. But that's not how you get the most out of every set. Overload at the end of every set, whether you 6 to 8 reps, 4 to 6 reps, 12 to 15 reps, 10 to 12 reps. It's what it feels like on the end. Obviously, if you do more reps, that's what you're shooting for, 12 to 15. You're going to have to use lighter weights than if you went 6 to 8. But whatever rep scheme you use, however much weight you use, whether you think it's heavy or you're safe or smart, or it doesn't matter. It's how it feels at the end of the set. It's about overload, overload, overload. Some people are mentally tough. Some people understand that. Some men know. It's always going to make an effect, especially stacked over time, about how much muscle you can build, certainly how much you can maintain. Overload is the primary purpose at the end of every set, regardless of the workout routine, regardless of the volume, regardless of how frequently you train that body part, how quickly you go through it, how long the workout is, how short the workout is. Remember, it's all about overload weights. All right, another mistake that a lot of men make is they warm up. It takes too long to warm up. They waste a lot of time, a lot of sets, and a lot of reps. Wait with those reps and sets that once you're ready to go, you're mentally, physically, mentally, emotionally ready to tackle the heavy weight for that particular body part. You want to use the least amount of reps, least amount of sets, least amount of weight. Don't just go 5 times 10 times whatever weight. For different body parts, it'll require maybe more or less, but you want to use the least amount. But when it's time to go for overload, you don't look back. Don't pyramid up. That's another mistake they make, is that, okay, so you use your chest, you start off with some flat bench press, let's say. Well, I know a lot of guys say, I got to use bench press, it ruined my shoulders or whatever. Okay, so you use a machine, or you use incline dumbbell presses, whatever it is. You warm up, okay, now you're ready to go. All right, then a lot of men will, do 2 sets, boom, 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 maybe 4 sets, whatever it is. And hopefully you're doing that overload. Hopefully you have a rep range, okay? All right. But here's the thing, to go to the next exercise, maybe it's decline bench press. And this could go for any other body part. They've already challenged themselves. They've already pushed themselves for that overload, right? Now they go to the next exercise for that body part, and they pyramid up again. Now, I know it may feel different, right, because it's different movement. Muscle coordination, right? Maybe mental preparedness, all right? That may be one thing. But you don't need to waste sets, anything less than overload for 2 and then do 2 more. Those are wasted sets. Go straight. Get the courage. Focus. And go straight to the 2, 3 sets or whatever the second exercise. Go straight to it, to the overload weight. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to waste sets. You don't want to waste energy. It's going to come off overload. Right, so go right to the heavy overload. And certainly on the 3rd one and the 4th exercise, if you have that. A lot of wasted sets that are less than overload, less than challenge you. It comes off the overall intensity. It's not needed. It's just the overload sets that challenge you. That's what makes it productive. Right? So pyramiding up, it wastes time. All right? Okay? You got to have a rep range. All right? You're doing fine if you're pushing yourself and you get to 10 reps. I do 10 reps. Anything more? No, I want to get to 10. I'm done. Well, what if you can do more? Well, no, I stop, right? Well, what if you're pushing yourself and you want to get 10 and you're tiring out at 8? Well, then I suck it up and I go 8, 9, 10. I may not get it, but I fight for it. See, that's what you have to do with every set. You can't guide it into 10, all right? You can't guess, because that set with that weight, you can't guess, and you need a range, 8, 9, or 10, 10, 11, or 12, right? Every set has to be pushed, and having a rep range, and that's balanced with the weight, creates overload and makes the most of every set. It's how you make the most of every set. It's that intensity that really matters. That's how you get the most out of your workouts. All right, rest between sets. All right, we're overloading muscle. We don't want to rest. We want to rush from set to set to set, right? Because it's about overload, right? That's what the purpose of muscle. That's the first thing I talked about, right? How many times have you, maybe in the past, you had 1 minute rest? All right, because you want to keep it moving, you want to keep the heart rate moving. Again, you're not burning body fat. It may seem like it. If you burn more calories, you move faster, right? But you couldn't get on your machine. Or maybe you got distracted by a phone call or someone talking, right? So you waited, instead of a minute 45 seconds, and you were significantly stronger. Just those extra 45 seconds. You want to rest as long as it takes, 2 to 3 minutes. It's all about overload. All right, so when you do these things, you get the most out of every set. These are things that may sound simple. Maybe in a detached manner, you heard all these things. Maybe you do some of them. But when you do all of them, workout for workout, that's how you get the most out of it. And any workout that you have. So, hey, I want to help you one-on-one, talk to you about these things. You've been doing this for a long time, well, long enough. You want to take it to the next level. Let me teach you. My one-on-one coach is talking to you it's talking to you, teaching you, starting from where you are. We're all at different levels of understanding, of commitment this far. Take you to my